All right, guys, Conservative Confucius back at it again. We're going to be talking about some of the migrant crisis that's going on and how it's hitting the vets. The veterans really need our help right now. They need our support. We need to be vocal about them, what's happening to them. The migrant crisis is now affecting the veterans in a very, very bad way. It's been happening for almost a couple months now. One of the first really publicized stories was about a month ago now. It was a hotel in New York City. It was either funded by New York State or New York City itself, and they were housing veterans in the hotel, and they had been for a number of months. Not sure exactly, but the city kicked out all of the veterans to let in the migrants, and I'm talking elderly veterans who served in where there was Korea or Vietnam, or later Desert Storm, or even younger ones who served in Afghanistan and Iraq and Afghanistan again and other places. It is just completely disgraceful what is happening to them, and we need to stand up for them as a country, as a people. And if you're a conservative or a libertarian, this is something you should and need to do. And I would say it's even something you have to do if you want to be one of those people on the right side of history. It's just disgraceful what's going on. So let's get into it.
So I'm here with Jeff, a homeless, disabled veteran of New York. How do you feel about the migrants getting free hotel rooms and everything they need while you're homeless and you serve the country, Jeff?
So personally, I feel everybody needs housing and all these things. And if we have extra money, we should be more than happy to help people out in need. But when I receive half as much money, a third of the food stamps, and other things, while they're receiving all these other benefits, it seems very unfair. Now,
these people are receiving $3,000 a month, up to $5,000 a month if they have a family. They're receiving food stamps on top of that. They're receiving health insurance on top of that, and they're receiving free, high quality smartphones. And this is more than most people make who have careers. Most teachers don't make anything more than around $3,700 a month on average. Sometimes a little bit more, but not too much more. These migrants are getting paid $3,300 per month minimum. Why are they getting paid more? They're getting universal income and universal free healthcare. I don't support those things at all. But if we're going to do that, even though I disagree with it, it should go to American citizens, the people suffering most, the veterans, the homeless, not these frickin' pricks who came into our country illegally, broke our laws, hurt our people, take our jobs. And whether you want to agree with that last point, it's true. They lower the worth of our money, the worth of our wages, the worth of our own work. And yet we're supposed to sit here and say it's okay to give these people money? No, I don't even think when we have enough money in this country, we should be doing these things. I think we need to let in a certain amount of immigrants who are going to be beneficial to the growth of our society and aren't going to leech off our society. A safety net is great, but turning that safety net into a safety hammock is dangerous and evil. And it only furthers wealth gap inequality. It only furthers income inequality. It only furthers the poverty level in each community. And it's going to trap these people in a never-ending story of poverty. That's why the black community is now poorer than they were in the night. Previously, their poverty level was lower in the 1950s and early 60s than it is now. That two-parent household number was far lower, around 20. I think it was 24%, as low as 21%, and now it's 78%. 78% of black children grow up without a father in the home. It used to be 21 to 24%. Why are we acting like these programs do beneficial things? And then why are we giving these non-beneficial programs to illegal aliens when we not only know that these things don't work, they like to think they work, but let's just say they did work. Why are we giving those programs and that money and those benefits to people who don't give a crap about our values, our Constitution, our laws? They don't do any of that. They broke laws coming in here. Do you think they really care about following the laws that we have set in the country? If they're not even going to follow the laws that protect our borders of our country and our country at large? Hell no. These people don't give a crap about us. They're here for one thing: money. And you made it clear to them that they can get this if they come here by abusing our people, by smuggling in drugs, by targeting people, by criminal actions, because they'll never get put in jail. This is 100% your fault, Biden. This is 100% your fault, Democrats. Until you start voting with your actual heart and not this fake heart you think you have, which is just this wannabe, just virtue signaling bullcrap. If you actually cared about people, you would actually vote for what improves their lives instead of what temporarily looks the best on a camera.
Our President Biden recently has said it over and over that he has a middle out, bottom up plan. Well, if you really think through that, that means he's going to push out the middle class, bring up the bottom working class, which won't be so opinionated about things, and then replace the working class with these illegals.
Jeff, what's your message to President Joe Biden?
When did you sell out? I know you've been a bag man in Delaware for the last 50 years for the corporate mob. When are you going to choose to actually stop taking money and start actually acting like a president?
Yep.
Thank you, Jeff. God bless you.
All right, let's go on.
Just came off the House floor where we voted to appropriate all the veterans programs, so give money to the veterans programs. Every Republican voted yes to fund VA programs. Every Democrat voted no. For months and months, the Democrats have been saying that the Republicans do not care about veterans. They've been saying that, exhausting that. And today, on the floor...
So there's a complaint that Republicans won't come to the Senate to do a bipartisan, border bill. Bull crap. Number one, that border bill was BS. It had so much other stuff in it that would have detrimented the country. It would have been detrimental to all Americans. And yet they act like we didn't come to the Senate for a bipartisan bill. It's like, no, go screw yourself, man. Just because it says border bill on the cover, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have other crap in it. The TikTok bill, whether or not TikTok should be banned, which it 100% should be banned, or at least like they're trying to do, sell it to a non-Chinese owned company and then not steal the data anymore. Set it up so it's an American owned company so it's not going to steal our crap. But I think it should just be banned completely. It's detrimental to teenage health and mental health and all kinds of different things. It's awful app. It's just doom scrolling, but instead of doom scrolling like on Twitter, it's like just brain rot scrolling, and it literally makes kids stupider. And I'm not joking. I'm not saying this like don't sit too close to the TV, Johnny. You'll go blind. Your eyes won't work. Whatever. It's not how it is. This is true. I mean, these kids who watch TikTok all day, they're the biggest idiots in the world, and everybody who's watching this and who will watch this knows exactly what I'm saying, and that is true. We need to stop acting like the Democrats really mean something when they say a bipartisan vote. Just because it says something on the cover doesn't mean that. We need to focus on what's in the bill itself. The TikTok bill had so many provisions about, banning all types of different, speech on social media platforms all around. It gives the government basically a much more liberal ability to encroach upon people's speech on social media. And so many people did not know this when they voted for it because they were just so happy that it wasn't as bad or as strong-armed as the last one, which was way more pro-censorship. Sorry, hiccup. And it's just insane that, finally, when we actually do have a bill that truly will work, that is simple, it's not thick, it's not filled with a whole bunch of crap, that then they complain and say, they always say, like, Republicans hate these people because they didn't vote for this bill. Really? Well, how do you like it when it's in return? And not only that, how do you like it when it's actually someone and a group of people, like a real group of people that are probably more disenfranchised than any other group in the entire country? Veterans. Why are you voting against veterans? Why do you hate veterans and love illegal immigrants? What is wrong with you people? Not one Democrat voted for in favor to keep the veterans safe. All of them voted to give everything that the veterans basically have to the illegal immigrants, all of their, benefits and all of the ability for them to get treatments and all this crap is going to the illegal immigrants. Why? Because they don't give a crap about Americans. It's about building a new voter base that they can completely rely on to overwhelm the voting system and get more electoral votes in the cities that they need so they can overrun the red states, which have a tiny bit more power right now. So if they can get it into these blue states, which is why you see all these illegal immigrants on Aguero for Texas is his channel. I think I might have one of his videos up. Yeah, I do. And his whole channel, he'll half of his videos are going up to people on, at the border right when they get over. And he's like, where are you, what's your name? It doesn't say what's your name. He says, where are you from? Where are you going? He goes, and they go, Venezuela, New York. And they're like, okay, where are you from? Senegal, Chicago. And this is how it is. And it goes on like that for hours and hours and hours. He does these videos, they're in short clips, but I mean, the lines on these things, like he'll have like 500 sometimes, he'll have, maybe 80 or 100. And then other times he'll just have like, a few. But I mean, it's insane. I mean, there's literally times where it's like almost all North African and Middle Eastern people. And then there's other times where it's like almost all Chinese people. And the other times where it's, mix and match of like North African and, Central American and Mexican. And it's insane. It is totally insane to think that we can't even do anything. I mean, now we can. We're starting to in Texas at least. But in Arizona, people are still coming over like crazy where I live. I mean, terrorists too. This is where the cartel comes in. All the drugs, the cartel crap, the human trafficking, that all comes over. Not all the human trafficking. The really like brutal stuff. But most of it goes in Texas. But the drugs, the brutal human trafficking, all the really bad stuff comes over in Arizona because it's a little bit easier and more open to get through. And there's far less ability for them to get caught because all they have to do is hike through a desert. That desert, people die in that desert all the time. They have to wear these shoes that have carpet, like literal carpet, like duct tape to the bottom so they don't leave tracks. But I mean, you'll find these like carpet shoes all over the desert. It's crazy. And it's so bad right now. I mean, there's literally a cartel run, charity service in the middle of the desert called No Mas Muertes, which James O'Keefe investigated. No Mas Muertes is run by the cartel, but it's acting like it's a Catholic charity thing, and it's not. It's just bullcrap. It's a progressive charity. They call it Catholic charity because it gets better benefits from the government.
We voted for it. They voted against it. They're the ones that do not care about our veterans.
Okay, so sorry. Okay, so according to the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, these are going to be eligibility based on immigration status, and they're trying to basically pay illegal immigrants to come. And so if you have these things, you're victims of human trafficking, you have special, asylees, refugees, basically every single immigrant possible. If you're from these countries, if you're from this country, if you're, from this country, if you're an Afghan national, if you're a Cuban national, if you're a victim of human trafficking, a special immigrant visa, if you're an asylee, a refugee, so every type of immigrant, illegal or non-illegal, you can get into this. And then you can get a based income, a universal based income on the size of your family. One person gets $26,000 a year, 2, 36, 3, 45, 4, 55. You can go up to 8 where you get $93,000 a year. And then you can also work on top of that. Working doesn't take away these things. You get free lunch, Medicare, dental, security, Social Security, and or supplemented security income, Head Start early. I don't know what that means. Special supplemented nutrition for women and infants. So WIC basically is what they call it. Low income home energy assistance, and then Pell Grants and temporary assistance for needy families, and SNAP, which is like food stamps. So all that crap is going to immigrants in Michigan, illegal immigrants and legal, because, and see all these different languages they operate in. It's crazy. Like they are trying to, and the reason why it's Michigan is doing this is it's the key state where Trump needs to win. So they're trying to import as many people as possible to change that district, not only for the future because Trump's probably going to get elected, they won't be able to change it as fast as they want to, but they know that he'll win again. Like the Republicans will win again the year after, because things are changing drastically right now. So if they keep changing like this and keep on this path and nothing crazy happens during Trump's next term, we're going to be seeing a massive, change in the politics of this country. We're already seeing it with Gen Z, especially the men are drastically moving right. I mean, and I'm not saying I don't support gay marriage. I don't really religiously, no, not at all. Governmentally, I don't think the government should get involved in marriage. It's not their job. I'm a local libertarian and a federal libertarian and a local conservative. The government should get its hands off as many things as possible, but locally, I'm conservative. I think Ben Shapiro said that, and I'm a little bit more libertarian than he is, but still, we agree on a lot of stuff. So yeah, they're trying to flood Michigan with as many illegals as possible to try to change the electoral college, the votes, so they can get more there, and just the number of regular voters, because that can change the election too. So it's crazy, man. Like, they're really trying to rig this crap, and I mean, it's just a mess. Okay, so breaking report: three undocumented immigrants arrested in illegal aliens arrested in Palm Beach County, Florida, after a woman is forced into a vehicle and sexually battered. I don't want to get in trouble. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office reported that Tuesday that 3 of the undocumented illegal immigrants from Guatemala have been charged with abducting a woman, forcibly placing her in a vehicle, and subjecting her to sexual assault at 2 different sites near Lake Worth Beach. The incident took place at 1 a.m. on Monday in a neighborhood located over the 5,000 block of Lake Osborne Drive, close to John Prince Park, and just west of Interstate 95. Yep. Get used to this, guys. Why does that guy look freaking Filipino as hell? Him with this guy. Look like they're related. They got the same eyes. This guy knows something. These two, dude, they look Filipino, bro. I mean, it's because Filipinos are basically just Asian Mexicans. That's it. That's all it is. I mean, Spain came to here, and I mean, Native Americans and Native Western, hemisphere people. So Native Americans in South America, Central America, and North America are Asian. They came over like 6,000 years ago, or was it 4,500 years ago? And they came over, I think, from a small, the Bering Strait wasn't fully connected at the time, but it was much, 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 much closer. So they traveled from island to island eventually until they got to Alaska, and then some stayed in Alaska. And the reason people think the ones in Alaska are dark is because they're more traditional. It's not. It's because the sun reflects off the snow. Crazy. Sorry, random facts. But then they traveled down around, into North America, into Central America, and South America, and that's where they came from. But Filipinos, Spanish people went to Spain and then colonized that land. So it's basically the same thing, just slightly different Asians. Pretty weird. Pretty crazy. A lot of people don't know this stuff. That's why if you look at older Native American pictures from the 1800s, they just look like Asian people. They look like Mongolians. The way they dress, the way they look, they're slightly darker. It's like Vietnamese mixed with Mongolian. And it's crazy. They live the same type of lives as Mongolian, nomadic Mongolians too. Same type of clothes, same type of everything. Alrighty, we're gonna get into this one.
The reality is the Democrats are in fact clearing the way for illegal immigrants to vote in elections. The technicality is between federal elections and municipal elections. They can vote at the local level. They're trying to expand it right now. According to Ballotpedia, the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C.
This is what I was talking about.
And they've expanded this as well to in California, Maryland, and Vermont.
There was a law passed in 1996
local elections, but
outlawing non-U.S. citizens from voting in federal elections. So that is true. So at the federal level, it's a serious crime to vote. If you're a non-citizen, you can easily get kicked out of the country.
First step.
At the local level, though, it's expanding. For instance, some states have in their constitution that all U.S. citizens have.
If something happens in the next election, this will be the end of this country, because they will immediately amend that constitutional. That they will immediately repeal that constitutional amendment. They will repeal it and replace it, or just completely void it. This is. You need to be prepared, guys. Be prepared. Be strong. Have your, have hope. We need hope.
Have the right to vote.
But I have hope. I really do. I think we're going to win this next one. But you know, just don't let this stuff, don't let this crap, you know, make it too, just too depressed or too sad. You know, everybody needs to get offline every once in a while. It's a good thing to do.
It doesn't say that non-U.S. citizens don't have the right to vote. So in those states where it's a little bit, like Vermont is a good example. If this continues going down this road and more illegals into the country, more and more municipalities allow them to vote, the politicians that are going to rise up will be placating this demographic.
What did I say? Said that crap earlier.
And the entire polity of America will be shifting in that process.
Told you.
The reality.
Children, little kid clothing, little girl clothing, little boy clothing, little girl clothing, little girl shoes, little girl sandals, another woman's sandals,
human trafficking,
little boy jacket, little girl tennis shoes, little girl hat, little girl jacket, little girl undies, baby blankets, baby blankets, baby blankets, baby jackets, pacifiers, baby bottles, baby bottles. This was a child encampment, guys, where they were keeping the babies. There's the disposable gloves, latex gloves. This is a child encampment. This is child trafficking.
As a person who was, you know, essayed and raped and groomed, I can tell you, this stuff is just insane, man. I mean, it really hurts my heart, you know? I mean, my heart goes out to these kids. But just 2 years ago, we didn't even know where 86,000 of the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of kids that have come into this country were. Millions of kids. Were the, you know, like probably over 1 million at the time. Kids, just kids under the age of 15 had come in. Over 1 million at least. And we didn't know where 86,000 of them in. You say, that's not that big of a percentage. It's way too many, dude. Far too many. And it is insane. And now we're expecting, the numbers are more accurately portrayed as at least 1/3 of all kids coming across the border are being trafficked. That is insane.
And your government is complicit. And they know about this, guys. They have security guards taking care of the electric plant that is right behind us, and they've known about this. Even before we were tipped off by Mike to come out here, they've known about this. They are complicit, and they should be facing some kind of criminal penalty.
Yeah, they should be facing prison.
For allowing this to continue, especially for every child that was put in these situations. God knows where these kids ended up, guys.
They are most likely in sex slavery and
Creighton is for those
being abused by
healthcare.
multiple people.
Join the medicine, nursing, OT, PT, pharmacy, or physician.
Trafficking children, little kid clothing.
Learn more at creighton.edu/Phoenix.
And this guy finally got arrested. The illegal immigrant who is crying on social media. Everyone's seen his ridiculous posts. See if anybody commented the pictures. No? Alright, well. This guy was crazy. He's had longer and shorter hair. He used a baby that wasn't even his as a prop. And I think he like literally bought the baby through sex slavery because it looks like an Asian baby. And I'm not joking. Like it looks like a straight up like baby from China. Or like, you know, like Thailand or something. Not even close to anything Hispanic at all, not even a smidge. Like it doesn't look Puerto Rican, it doesn't look anything. It doesn't look, you know, Central American, it doesn't even look Filipino, dude. So there's no Hispanic, there's not even a bit of Latin in it. And somehow this dude has that baby and he's crying on camera with it after he got caught, you know, and got in trouble by the government because they told him like, yo, we put a warrant out for your arrest after you just told people how to break in that. They should invade people's houses, squat in them, and then they won't get in trouble and they'll get bailed out immediately. And you can get free cash if you have a kid. So make sure you get a kid or have a kid, blah, 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 blah. These people are trash. They're human garbage. Anyways, guys, that's my video for today. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks a lot. And, you know, I think I'll catch you guys later in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please come back again, and thank you.